Hello and good afternoon, everyone. I'm Hanisa from the organizing team GTI Media, and I will be the facilitator for today's Meet the University session. Before we begin, I would like to thank everyone for joining us today session. And for this afternoon, we have with us Mr. Megat Sharifuddin Benjamin from Marketing and Business Development Department, Center for Education and Extension, Universiti Kebangsaan Malaysia, UKM. We will be with him for 1 hour starting from now until 5 p.m. Please take note that you are only allowed to ask questions that are mainly related to postgraduate studies. So it can be about the courses offered at UKM, scholarships and financial aids, or any other things about UKM that you would like to know. Basically, take this as your chance to interact and get to know the university better. As this is a live session, we strongly encourage the participants joining us today to ask questions by switching on your microphone and, if possible, your camera as well, so that we can have a livelier two-way interaction between you and the university representative. We truly hope that you will take this opportunity to show yourself and talk confidently. So don't be shy and just enjoy the session. Now, to interact and ask questions, you may click on the raise hand button, which you can find in the list of reactions. And I will pick you by mentioning your name. Again, just a friendly reminder, please remember to switch on your microphone and camera, and you may start by introducing yourself. Once you are done asking your question, please remember to click on the lower hand button. Alright, so without further ado, let's invite Mr. Megat from UKM to start the session with a brief introduction of himself and the university. Over to you, Mr. Megat.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Ms. Hanisa, for the brief introduction. And welcome everyone who are here today. Okay, it's very nice seeing quite a number of people who are able to join this session with us today. Okay. As you all know, we are currently going through lockdown. So physical promotion and physical interaction, face-to-face communication is not allowed at the moment. So this is the best we could do. So we appreciate every effort being done by organizers to actually, have such sessions for us to share more information about admission into universities and also higher learning institutions. Yeah. Okay. Well, my office have been receiving a lot of calls pertaining to entry requirements, regardless of whether it's postgraduate and undergraduate students. So I think this is actually a good opportunity for those who are here with us today to ask questions pertaining to admission into the university. Okay, before we proceed any further, because I'll be talking a bit more about, the university's background and our current standing in the world ranking and the programs that we offer. But before that, I think I would like to share the video with all of you who are present here today. It's a video, it's actually our corporate video, just to give you an idea of the things that our university are invested into, such as research, medical area, science and technology, engineering, education, and whatnot. So I think I'll be sharing that video first. Let me just play the video for you here.
There is a university that inspires futures. The futures of the young. The future of our way of life. The future of this nation. And the future begins by nurturing possibilities. is here, now, where the possibilities are endless.
Okay, so now that we've finished watching the video, so you have at least an idea of I would say, some of the big area of studies that UKM is actually invested into. Okay, now I'll be sharing the slides for my presentation today, and I'll briefly talk about the background of UKM and also the programs that we offer. Okay, here we go. Okay, so as some of you may know, as of 2020, we actually celebrated our 50th anniversary, 50 year of establishment for UKM. Okay. Okay, this is just a slight background of when UKM was established back in 1970. So actually, if we were to compare UKM with all the other public universities in Malaysia, I would say UKM is actually one of the younger ones, okay, to be established amongst the universities. So the idea of UKM actually started back in 1923, yeah, when the scholars actually came up with an idea to actually build up a university that can actually accommodate people from all different backgrounds, not just the Malays, not just the Indians, not just the Chinese. So basically people from different racial background and also different background itself. So in 1970, the dream was actually established by, coming up with Faculty of Sciences, Faculty of Arts and Islamic Studies. So these are actually the first three faculties that were established in UKM back in 1970. And then in 1974, we actually came up with the medical faculties and also the faculties that are mainly related to health sciences program. Okay. And then in 1977, we actually moved to Bangi, which is where our main campus is actually located now. Yeah. And as of 2006, we were awarded as one of the research universities in Malaysia. This is actually the same, I would say, award that is given to universities such as Universiti Malaya, UPM, yeah, and USM. All right. And as of 2018, we actually made it into the top 200 universities in the world based on the QS World Ranking. Okay, so for a university that is, I would say, quite young, we are actually climbing up the ranks at a rapid pace. Yeah. Okay, so some of you, for those of you who don't know where UKM is located, we are actually not very far from Kuala Lumpur, and we are also not very far from Putrajaya. Everything is actually in the length of 30 minutes away from the main campus. So usually when students ask me like where is it located, I would say it's between the airport and Kuala Lumpur. So I would say for those who are studying in our main campus, it's not such a hassle to actually commute to Kuala Lumpur, because we also have a train station nearby, which will only take about 30 minutes for you to travel using the KTM, right? So this is our current world ranking. As of 2022, this is actually the ranking for 2022. We are currently ranked 144th in the world ranking. And in Southeast Asia, we are currently ranked number fifth out of all the universities in Southeast Asia. So this is our current number of students. So we have about 200 plus thousand alumni that have graduated from UKM. And currently we have close to 12,000 postgraduate students. This is actually the number combined together for local and international students. This is the total number. Yeah. And we also have international students who are also studying in UKM. But of course, due to the pandemic, they are not physically here. Some of them are actually studying online. Okay. So some parents or maybe some international students, one of their concerns would be, what is it like to study in UKM? How many academic staff are there? How qualified are they? For example, these are some of the common question that we have been receiving during our promotional activities. Yeah. So here I present you the numbers. Yeah. Currently, I would say close to 80% of our staff is actually PhD holders. In order to be able to teach, you need to have a PhD in our university. Unless, of course, if you're doing, if the lecturer is actually teaching common subjects like maybe workplace communication, for example, the minimum requirement that they need to have is at least a master's degree before they can teach. Yeah. So for those who are planning to join for postgraduate studies, regardless whether you are planning to do research or coursework, you can be sure that the supervisors assigned to you are highly qualified. All right. So, okay, some of the viewers today, for those of you who might not had the chance to actually view the brochure that we have on our website, let me just break it down for you here. So, sorry, can you see the whole screen here, or am I blocking part of the screen?
I can see the whole screen, Mr. Good.
You can see the whole screen, yeah. Okay. So I have actually broken down the list of faculties that we have here. We have a total of 13 faculties in our university, which can be separated into 4 main categories, which are science and technology, health sciences, arts and social sciences, and business and management. Okay, so I believe most of the programs are actually intend towards research, I would say research direction, because of course there are some students who might be wondering, is there any programs such as, graphic designing or fashion? Unfortunately, at the moment, we do not have such programs, because all the programs that we offer in our university, I would say it's more, it's leaning more towards research-based program. Yeah. So in our university, we do not only have the faculties, because usually the faculties will have bachelor degree programs, master's program, and also PhD programs. However, in our university, we also have research institutes. Research institutes, their main goal is actually to focus the field of study into a certain particular area. Okay, so in our research institute, they do not offer bachelor degree programs, but they do offer masters and PhD programs. So I have broken down the categories of the institute into 3 different categories, which are science and technology, health sciences, and also social sciences. Okay, and under these research institutes, they have a number of programs which are not shown under the faculty. It's a totally separate program compared to the programs offered under the faculty. Okay. Okay, so for those of you who are wondering, what are the top subjects offered in UKM? Okay, so back in 2018, we have a list of programs that made it to the top 100 best programs in the world. From our university, we had 9 subjects, which is architecture and built engineering. We had 4 engineering programs actually: architecture, chemical engineering, electrical engineering, and mechanical engineering. And then we have another 5, which is education, English and literature, linguistic, social policy and administration, and also religious studies. Yeah. So, but it doesn't mean that all the other programs are not as good. It's is good, but it's maybe it's not up there yet. But these nine are already there. They are already included in the QS top 100 subject in the world by UKM, right? Okay, so for those of you who are wondering, okay, this is actually I would say this slide was meant to show you that for postgraduate students who are interested in going for masters or PhD in our university, there will be trips to these places actually, especially those who are doing science and technology related programs. Because we have research labs, what we call as living labs, located outside of the university campus. As you can see in the list here, Langkawi, Mersing, Kuala Pilah. And but unfortunately, for the time being, it's not open due to the lockdown. Yeah. So hopefully it will be open soon once the lockdown is over and everything is maybe not 100% back to normal, but close to what was normal back then. Okay. So, okay, I have included here the requirements for postgraduate students. The ones that you see on the screen right now, it does not just apply to for those who are interested in going for the PhD program. For those who are interested in doing a master's program as well, master's program, you need to have a bachelor degree of a minimum of 3.0 and above. Um, Here for PhD, you need to have a master's of a minimum of 3.0 and above. So what happens if you have a CGPA of lower than 3.0? What you can do is that you can actually submit your employment letter or maybe your CV for the faculty to actually take into consideration your working experiences as well. Okay. So anything below 3.0, you should be submitting your application together with the working experience. And of course, if you're doing a coursework program does not require a research proposal. Okay. For coursework program, all you need to do is you just need to submit your academic achievements, your transcript, your certificate, yeah, and the faculty will actually do a review based on your documents. However, if you're doing a master's by research or a PhD program, then definitely you will need to have to submit a minimum 5 to 7 pages of research proposal. Must I remind you, it does not have to be a perfect proposal because some of the students, they assume that when they submit the application, they need to submit an already perfect proposal. That's not the case because as supervisors in the university, they understand that you might not might not have the capabilities to prepare such proposal. All they want in the proposal is to see how knowledgeable you are in the field that you are applying for. So let's say if you are going for mechanical engineering and your research proposal is in mechanical engineering, they would like to know your topic, what you would like to do the research for, and also how much you know about that particular subject that you are going for. Okay, so all this information need to be included inside the research proposal, and you also need to include the references that you are taking from. All right. Okay, so I'm a bit unsure if all our viewers are local or there are some international students here. But if you are a local student going for our PhD or master's program, MWET is actually not a requirement, provided that you graduated from a Malaysian university. Okay, but of course, if you graduated elsewhere, let's say if you maybe some of you may have graduated from Russia, for example, and you did not take MWET, for your degree because it's not a requirement there, then there is a possibility that we will ask you to sit for MWET before joining the program as part of the requirement. Okay. Okay, so in UKM, we have a total of 73 undergraduate programs. Yeah, but not all programs are offered for international students. I'm not sure if there are any international students here, but for international students, you may apply for programs that are conducted fully in English. Certain programs like psychology, it is open for international students, but only international students with uh, a Malay speaking background. So let's say if you're from Indonesia, Brunei, or Singapore, yeah, and you can converse in Malay, Malay language, then the program is available for you to apply. But if you are from different parts of the world, which you do not use Malay language as a daily communication medium, then it's not possible. All right. For postgraduate students, I think it's not a problem because postgraduate students, we actually offer all our programs, research-based programs for international students and local students as well, provided you meet the requirements that I have mentioned earlier, whereby you need to achieve the minimum CGPA, and also you have your research proposal prepared for the faculty to review. Okay. Okay, so I have already reached the end of my slide here. I think I'll be sharing another one just to show you how you can actually submit your application through our system as well. Just give me one moment. Okay, so here we go. This is our application portal. Okay, so I'm not sure whether the crowd that we have here today, I'm not sure if you're interested in going for the full-time program or the part-time program. Because the application system that I'm showing here, this is actually our portal for those who are interested in doing the part-time programs. Okay, but let's say if you are interested in doing the full-time program and then you submit the application to this system, it will still be processed, but the information that you submit into this system will be sent to the full-time system, which is another system. It's a different system. Yeah. Okay. So basically, it's just like Facebook. All you need to do is that you need to register for an account. Just key in, if you are a Malaysian, you just key in your IC number here. Once you log in into the system, the web page will be automatically in Malay language. But if you are using a passport, for example, it will automatically change into English language for easier understanding. Okay. So just register here, fill in all the details accordingly. Once you have logged in into the system, you will see this page here. Just click on the application form, and then you should be able to fill in all the details pertaining to your academic background, your language requirement, and also all the other documents that may be related to your education. Yeah? So once you click on the application form, you will be able to see on the left side here all the list of things that you need to fill in. So as you can see, there are some sections with an X at the side. and some sections have a little star at the side, right? So what you need to do is that you need to make sure you fill in those with the X. Yeah, these are the compulsory sections. The ones with the star, it's not compulsory, but if you do have documents that you feel is related that you want to upload, you can do so in those areas as well. Okay. So, okay, at the end, you will see there is a declaration button here. Once you fill in all the sections accordingly, when you click on the declaration part, if some of the sections are not properly filled in, there will be a reminder to say that you have not filled in a certain section. So you need to go back to that section and fill in or upload the documents accordingly. Okay, this is what I was talking about. So when you click on the declaration, if you have not filled in any of the sections that are compulsory, there will be a reminder here for you to go back to that section and fill it in. All right. Okay, what else? So some of you may be wondering, how do we conduct classes during this pandemic season? Yeah. So we have yet to confirm whether or not there will be any physical class anytime soon. So what we have done during this pandemic season is that we have actually been teaching online. The lecturers have been teaching online, and all the classes, all the assignments, submissions are being done online as well. Just to let you know, actually online teaching is not foreign to UKM. We actually had this program. I mean, the teaching has been done online for quite some time already. I think starting early 2000, we have been doing online classes as well for those who are staying far away and whatnot. But it's only March 2020 last year that we were forced to go, full force into teaching online. So now we have to convert all our materials online to make sure that all the students have their teaching material and also the learning materials and whatnot. Yeah. So these are actually some of the platforms that we use. We have Google Meet, we have Zoom, and also Microsoft Teams. Yeah, there are other platforms as well, such as WhatsApp, and also some of them are using Vu. For students in China, we are using Ding Talk and whatnot. So there are so many applications that are currently used by our lecturers to ensure that the information is um, sent to the students. Okay, so I think that's about it from me. There's not much for me to tell, but if you do have any questions that you might remember after the session, then you can always get in touch with me or GTI to actually get in touch with me. No worries.
Thank you, Mr. Megat, for the introduction of UKM and the courses offered there. So we do have questions from the chat box. Farhan Fitri asked, does UKM offer off-campus program for postgrad level?
Off campus, okay. Actually, at the moment, regardless whether you register for postgraduate program, whether it's master's or PhD, all the classes are currently being done online. So technically, all our full-time program are actually off campus. You are not allowed to come into campus. So you are basically studying off campus. But of course, if you are living far away from the main campus and you would like to pursue postgrad studies, we do have a master's program which we offer at our off-campus center. We have one in Kelantan, we have one in Sabah, we have one in in Johor, all over Malaysia actually. Yeah. So, but of course, if you're doing PhD, if you are actually referring to PhD, then a PhD, I would say it's the whole program. PhD program is actually it's 90% off campus. Only 10% where you need to attend for classes pertaining to academic writing and also research methodology. Once you are done with these two classes, the rest of the program is actually more of you doing your own research and communicating with your supervisor to get updates on the progress of your thesis basically.
Thank you. We also have one question from Samuel. Good afternoon. For MBA research paper, is there any selective topic or free to choose from on our own?
Okay, thank you, Samuel. Okay, for the research paper, actually we encourage you to select your own topic because the research of your topic will also determine your supervisor. Okay, so when you write your thesis, you make sure the topic is what you want to study, what I would say what you are invested into the most, what pique your interest the most. Yeah. And when you submit that thesis proposal for review, if there are any changes or if our lecturer feels that your topic and your content might be related to what they are doing in the university, the research that they are doing, then I would say that's a bonus point for you because your research can actually be combined together with the supervisor's research. So that's actually, I would say, one of the things that students who are doing research program are looking for actually. But of course, there's no limitation. We do not limit you. If you would like to proceed with your own topic, go ahead. No worries.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Megat. So we have one question from Dia Norm. Good afternoon, Mr. Megat. Can I know what are some of the courses that are conducted in Bahasa for both PG and UG courses, postgrad and undergrad?
Conducted in Bahasa. Well, definitely program Bahasa Melayu is conducted in Bahasa. Yeah. Okay, actually all the programs are conducted in Bahasa Melayu. Unless if you are going for programs where I would say there's a number of programs whereby we receive a lot of international students, mainly business, IT, engineering, and also health sciences. So these programs, they are actually, I would say, they can switch to either BM or BI, English or Malay, at any time. Meaning, it depends on the student's request. But the materials that they have for the subject is mainly in English. The materials, the study materials. Yeah. But they will also look at the class. If let's say the class is only consists of local students, they can actually conduct the program in Bahasa Melayu as well. So it's not an issue there. Unless maybe Miss Dia, if you have any specific program that you are going for, then maybe you can ask me on that program, and I'll let you know whether or not that program is available in dual language or not. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Megat. We have one question from Amanina. Good afternoon, Mr. Megat. I'm interested to further on engineering full time. So the application need to apply by ESP?
Doing engineering application full time. Okay. If you are doing engineering program full time, since you are a local student, you can actually apply for. You can apply through a GAS system. Maybe I can just type the link down here in the chat box. Yeah. Okay. So I hope everyone can see, the URL I wrote down there. So for local students who would like to do postgraduate programs in UKM, you can actually go to this link, to this URL, The layout of the website is very similar to the one that I showed you recently. So you can actually just maneuver around and register for an account, and the application system is roughly the same actually. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Ugat. We have one participant who raised his hand, Pavin Palkau.
Yeah.
Can you switch on your mic or camera?
Yeah. Can you see me?
Hello.
Yeah. Hi.
Yes.
Hello, Mr. Magat and Miss Anissa. Thank you for that beautiful briefing and all that. I just have few questions here. This is apa yang I dengar desas-desus. So I rather clear it with you than clearing it with someone else. Is it true that all the subjects that whatever research, I'm looking for postgraduate studies anyways, and I'm looking into doing linguistics. But I heard that the thesis that I write, is it true that I have to write it in Bahasa and also English? That's question number one. Question number two, the panel for supervisors, do I email them directly? Do I select the supervisors that I feel that I would want to work with, and then I email them directly? Is there a particular number, or do I email through someone? How do I go about that? That's all. Thank you.
Okay, sure. So I think I'll go with the first question first. Yeah. Okay, so the first question is regarding the language used for thesis writing. Okay, this one, it depends on the program that you're going for. If you are going for programs that are related to social sciences, mostly it's in Bahasa Melayu. Okay. But if you're going for science-related programs, like I mentioned earlier, like engineering, health sciences, um, or maybe science and technology, for example, or information technology, for example, you have the option to choose whether you want to write it in Bahasa Melayu, or you can go for English as well. But when you request to submit or write your thesis in English, from what I understand is that you need to get the permission from the faculty itself, meaning the management of the faculty. So it can be either your supervisor or the dean of the faculty. You just need to have a justification on why you would like to write the program, write the thesis in English. Mostly, some of the students, some of the reasons or justifications that I've heard from students is that, you know, they are actually trying to contribute to Scopus, mainly where the people who are from the international side. So basically, they would like to contribute to that pool of knowledge. So most people who are going to that pool of knowledge are mainly English speakers. So that's one of the justifications that I've heard before. Yeah, so I think, you can actually write to your supervisor or the dean of the faculty to request to write the thesis in English. It should not be a problem because we have international students doing that. And I myself, an alumni from UKM, and when I wrote my thesis, but of course I was actually studying English language. So definitely my thesis is in English, yeah. So, but for other programs, it's possible as well, and I have seen it being done before, so you can do that. For the second question, Ms. Parvin, what was your second question just now?
The question is for the panel of supervisors. Do I send them an email directly if I choose someone that I would want to work with? Do I send them an email directly, or is there a specific, do I have to go through someone to send the email, or how do I go about this?
Okay, understood.
If it makes sense, yeah.
Okay, no worries. Okay, actually, this is a common question to all students who are interested in joining our postgraduate programs, you know, because even I myself, before I applied for a university, I was thinking like, should I get in touch with someone from the faculty, you know, to make the application easier? At least, you know, I'm not clueless when I submit the application. At least someone is there waiting for my application to come in. But actually, that's not the case. If you do have contacts or if you have communicated with anyone from the faculty of your choice previously, that's a good thing. So maybe the person you contact with may suggest you the right person who you should put as your, you know, um, preferable supervisor, for example. Yeah. But actually, the normal procedure is that you can actually just submit your proposal. And like I have mentioned earlier, the faculty will have a meeting every 2 weeks whereby they will actually go through each of the proposal. Based on your topic for the proposal, they will actually choose a supervisor that is more suitable to your topic. Okay, so if you're doing something maybe related to pharmacy, for example, so they will assign a specific supervisor which is an expert in that field to become your supervisor. Okay, so the answer, I think the general answer is that you do not need to know anyone in the faculty for you to submit the proposal. But if you do, that's a good thing. But if you don't, you can still submit the application, and we will take the necessary actions to make sure your application is considered. Okay. Okay,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Mr. Megat. Thank you, Pavin, for the questions. Mr. Megat, we have one question from Hashwini from the chat box. Good afternoon. I'm planning for part-time MBA program. How the schedule be done as I'm also working, and where can I get the cost pricing?
MBA program. Okay. MBA program, we have one specific faculty that is actually doing the MBA program. It's called the UKM GSB. I have visited their website before, and it's very simple to understand. The fees and the breakdown of the fees are actually listed on the website. You can just type in UKM GSB. Okay, I've written it down in the chat box. You can actually just type this in Google search, and you will be able to find information about the program, the duration, and also the fees for the program as well. So it should not be a problem.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Megat, and I hope that's answered your question, Hashwini. Next question from Lo Ying Ying. Good afternoon, Mr. Megat and Hanisa. Yes, good afternoon. May I know whether it is possible to get the slides or brochure here?
I can share the brochure for the streaming for the postgraduate or undergraduate. I'm not so sure.
Oh, Ying Ying, undergraduate or postgraduate?
Hi, Mr. Basically, looking for postgraduate.
Postgraduate. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
I can actually send the file here. Let me just see if I can share the file in the chat. Just give me one moment.
Okay, sure. Another one is like regarding the, I think just now the one that you mentioned is about MBA, right, for the pricing, whereby we can go look for it at UKM GSB.
Yeah.
What about for the other courses?
The other courses.
Yeah,
the other courses, the file that I'm planning to share here, I'm not sure if I can share the file. It's actually listed in the brochure I'm about to share as well, actually.
All right, thanks.
Yeah. Okay, no worries. Actually, I think maybe if, let's say, you would like to search for it yourself, it's possible as well. You can actually just type in UKM postgraduate brochure. The first link will be the link that directs you to the latest updated brochure that we have. We just updated the brochure, I think, earlier this year, which is back in January this year. Let me see if I can share the file here. I'm not so sure.
Meanwhile, can we take one more question, Mr. Megat?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, from Grace. Good evening. Can I understand what the detailed course outline for Master of Mechanical Engineering in coursework?
The detailed course outline for Master of Mechanical Engineering. Yeah, actually, okay, this one, we do have an outline of the program because I think what you are concerned about is actually the subjects that are being taught inside the program. So I think I can share that with you. Or maybe it's easier, just give me one moment. Let me share the link with you in the chat box. So you can just copy paste the link for your future references. That would be much easier, I think.
Great.
But just to let you know, the one that I have here, it's I would say it's not. It's actually the part-time arrangement for the program. So when I share with you this link, it's not for you to refer to the schedule, but only to the list of programs that are being taught throughout the program. I mean the subjects that are being taught throughout the program. Okay. Okay, sorry, let me just check. It's mechanical engineering.
Yeah, mechanical engineering coursework.
Coursework, yeah.
Mm-mm.
Mechanical engineering. Okay. So you can copy this link here.
Okay.
Okay. It appears as a link, so you can just click that and it will redirect you to the page. Okay.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mugat, and I hope that answer your question, Grace. One more question from Chin Li Ling. Just to ask, if I don't have any title for the moment, wondering how to submit a proposal on that. I'm interested in PhD in water engineering.
You do not have any title. Okay, you mean the title for the topic, yeah, for the thesis. Okay, because if you do not have any title, you will not be able to apply for the PhD program, because usually for PhD students, you will need to have, I would say, an area of interest that you would like to do your research in. And from that is where the faculty will actually decide the specific person to be your supervisor. Now, let me just be clear with you. When you submit a proposal, right, it doesn't mean that the proposal will be your main proposal by the end of the program. Okay, meaning there is a possibility that the topic of the proposal, even the content of the proposal, will change throughout the program itself. Because I have seen many students, mainly international students, whereby when they came here, the proposal are very basic, and by the end of the program, it's a totally different proposal. Okay, but like you mentioned, I do see that you have a certain area that you are focusing into, water engineering. So that's a good thing. You can actually work out the proposal based on that topic. Maybe you could identify an issue in that topic and come up with a proposal based on that particular issue. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Mugat. Thank you, Chin Liling, for the questions. One more question from Grace. How about the class timetable? Basically, the classes conduct on weekend or weekdays for full time?
For full-time program, okay. Full-time program, the schedule for the program is actually during office hours, yeah. But if you are doing research programs, you will have a lot more time to yourself, because the classes are only for research methodology and also academic writing. Okay, after these two classes, it's I would say 90% of the time is actually just you doing your research and also consulting with your supervisor in terms of what needs to be improved for your proposal and your thesis. Okay, but if you're doing part-time programs, then definitely the classes will be conducted on a weekend, except for certain programs like cybersecurity, for example, or programs that are related to information technology. The classes are being conducted after working hours, but from 6 to 9, if I'm not mistaken, on a working day. It's not a weekend class, it's a weekday class, but it's after working hours. Okay. But for the rest of the program, it's mainly on weekends if you're doing it part-time. But for full-time, it's being done during working hours. Yeah. But now, since we are currently ongoing with the pandemic issue, all classes are being done online. So I think it is even more convenient now for you to be able to attend the class online during working hours. But of course, it's up to you. I'm not saying that people are not facing difficulties attending classes. Yeah. So I'm just telling you how it is in our university, and hopefully from there you can work things out on your own. Hopefully, yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Mugat. One more question from Farhan Fitri. May I know how student academics being evaluated in UKM for postgrad level coursework? Does it need to pass both coursework and examination?
Sorry, I didn't get you there. Can you repeat that again?
May I know how student academics being evaluated in UKM for postgrad level coursework? Does it need to pass both coursework and examination?
Okay, all right. Okay, I think based on your question, actually, yes, there is, if you're doing coursework mainly, because coursework programs is actually just like when you are doing your bachelor degree program. You will have assignments, you will have, group work, there will be presentations and whatnot, and also examinations to pass. But for if you're doing the research program or PhD program, then it's different. The layout of the program is different. There will be lesser exams. There will be lesser assignments. It's mainly you doing the research and improving the research thesis between you and your supervisor. Okay, so there will be a lot of research ongoing during your program if you are doing research-based program. But if you are doing coursework, then it will be just like what you mentioned. There will be assignments, examinations, and whatnot. It's just like your bachelor degree outline. Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Megat. We have 2 more minutes with Mr. Megat before we end the session today. Anyone who would like to ask one last questions, you may do so. Either in the chat box or you may switch on your mic or camera before we end the session.
Maybe I'll just share the link here. This is the link I was talking about. For those who are interested to download the postgraduate brochure and also see the list of programs that we have in UKM, you can actually go to this link. Yeah. So you can have a look at the list of programs, the list of faculties, the list of institutes, and if for those of you who are wondering what are the fees for the program and whatnot, you can actually go to the page at the back where we compile the fees for each of the program. I think it's being divided into categories. It's being divided by faculty, and also there is a breakdown of how much you need to pay per semester.
Thank you, Mr. Megat. So I think there's no more question from the floor.
I think, there's one more. Someone asking about financial aid.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Financial aid. Financial aid. Last year we had the Vice Chancellor Scholarship, but it's a very competitive scholarship, only given to students who are doing research-based programs. But of course, for local students who are doing their postgraduate studies in UKM, you can also apply for the common financial aid, which is like PTPTN and whatnot. But we also have, I would say, our center, the Center for Educational Extension, for those who are doing postgraduate programs, you can actually apply for a student loan because we have cooperation with Affin Bank, whereby once you get the offer letter for the program that you applied for, you can let us know if you are interested in doing the student loan, and we will inform the officer to get in touch with you so you can actually inform them of your your offer letter, and also because in the offer letter it will show the fees for the program, so they will know how much to provide you for your financial aid.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Megat. Thank you, Chin Liling. I think that's all the questions from the participants for today. That's all for our session with UKM today. But before we end the session, perhaps Mr. Megat would like to share any final advice or maybe some words of encouragement for those who are still unsure if postgrad studies is a good choice.
Okay, yeah, thank you very much everyone for coming in today. I didn't expect there will be about 30 people viewing our session for today. So thank you very much. Yeah, I think there's a lot of things going on during the pandemic. People are looking for property. Some people are looking to get married. Some people are actually looking to pursue their studies. So everything requires financial, financial investment. And I can assure you that education is not something that will go to waste. It's a sure investment for yourself and also your family. If you are, helping your family to pursue a better life, I would say. Yeah. And of course, I think Miss Hanisa, if I think if any of them would like to get in touch with me, I think you can provide my contact details as well, because I think based on the questions, I think they are very it's such specific questions, so I think they are truly interested in joining our university. So I think that's a good thing. So kudos to all of you here today.
Okay, thank you once again, Mr. Megat, for sharing your advice, and I hope everyone here has learned a lot from this session as much as I did. To all participants, we are happy to hear your feedback on our session today, and you may leave it in the chat box. Also, for your information, our Postgradasia Digital Postgraduate Week is currently ongoing and it will last until Sunday, 20th June 2021. So you may head on to Connect now by clicking the link shared in the chat box and check out the courses offered. That's it for today. Thank you again, Mr. Megat, for joining us, and we hope to see you again next time. Thank you, everyone, for joining and participating in this session. Stay safe and have a nice day ahead.
Thank you. Thank you very much, everyone.